Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. James here with Ryburn Training Systems. Today I'm going to walk you through day 2 of the Muscle Through Corona Band and Bodyweight program you can do at home. Last time we went over day 1, upper body. Now today we're training legs, and legs is my absolute favorite body part to train. So I'm excited to show you what I got in store for you. It's a pretty challenging workout, so follow along best you can. And again, the PDF for the program is below in the description. So if you're kind of confused about something we go over today, check it out. It should describe it in the PDF. With that being said, let's get right to it. Okay, we're going to start today by kicking off with a big giant set, literally a big giant set for the glutes. So first exercise in the giant set is going to be band pull-throughs. So take your bands here, go to the low anchor. You're going to walk out, and with banded pull-throughs, you're going to reach down, have your feet about yay wide, reach down, take a big nice stretch, and then flex your glutes really hard on top, just like this. So you should be kind of going forward because your glutes are flexing, not necessarily because you're reaching forward, but just go with your glute flexion, just like this. And done right, you should feel a pretty big cramp on top, just like that. So you shouldn't feel this too much in your lower back. You will a little bit, not too much hamstring, just a lot of glute, especially on that contracted position. So right after that, we're going to come right into knee banded squats. So I have 2 bands. I understand some of you might only have 1. So you can kind of rig this up pretty easily with a carabiner, kind of MacGyver it yourself. And it is a superset, or a giant set rather. So it's supposed to be as quick as you can from this exercise to this one. But if you have to take your band off, just go as quick as you can, no big deal. So for me, I'm going to go like this, twist it around, make a loop, put it through my feet, just like that. And I'm going to do good tempo, deep sumo squats, just like this. So I'm really going to be pushing up my knees as far as I can, just like that. So, you know, no funny bouncing here or anything. Good. Now, one thing to note with these, I'll tell you the sets and reps later, but expect to get pretty high reps with this. You know, a lot of people can do 20, 30 plus, so keep going until you just try to get to the recommended reps in reserve, which we'll talk about soon. Oh yeah, right after this, I should have left this on actually, but we're going to, along with so, you know, it's going to be banded pull-throughs, squats, right into this, just simple seated abductions. So come here and go out wide as you can. Now some people might feel a little more in the glutes, feel a little better if they lay down and go like this. Whatever works for you is fine. Just try to go out as far as you can, and you know, don't go too fast. Just like anything, some really easy kind of recoil quick back. So come out nice and slow and controlled, just like that. So now, as far as sets and reps, we're going to go 2 to 3 rounds of this whole entire giant set. So it's the pull-throughs right into the squats, right into the seated abductions. That's one set, one giant set. It's kind of like 3 mini sets, but it's one giant set. Then take your rest period, your minute or 2, then go back to it 2 or 3 more times, or sorry, 2 or 3 times total. You can do 4 if you really want to, but if you go really, really hard, then 2 to 3 should be sufficient. For reps in reserve, let's try to hit 2 to 0. Now again, for these 2 exercises in particular, the squats and the abductions, it might be hard to hit true failure. So just go until you feel a really good burn, mind muscle connection in your glutes, you know, really, really feel your muscles working, and go until that burn and the pump gets pretty real. So that's it for this giant set. Let's move on. At this point, your glutes should have some pretty decent blood flow. Let's hit them just a little harder with one more exercise. So sliding reverse lunges, that's what these are. All you need is a slippery surface and some socks. Later, I'm going to show you some ways you can do it without this kind of surface and socks too. But for now, we'll just focus on this. So reverse lunges, kind of lunge 101. Stand, feet shoulder width apart. Now, we're going to go in 1 foot at a time, so take whatever, a leg at a time, take whatever leg you want. Come back, putting about 80% of the pressure on the front foot, and just let it slide your back foot Come down all the way till your knee touches the ground or just barely. Now when you come up, drive a lot of pressure through the mid-foot and the heel of your front foot and come up, just like that. Done right, it should be pretty challenging. This is going to be a little lower reps, but we'll talk about that later. So again, here, notice how my feet, both feet are pointing straight, and then I'm coming up, just like that. So kind of 3, 2, 1. So it's okay, it's kind of hard to see in this angle, but it's okay to get a pretty good stretch back. You know, pretty far, really stretch the glutes. I'll do it in this leg too. You know, try to get a little, like this is probably too close. So let's go a little farther back. And that tension is right here. So don't rush this. We got nowhere to go, right? So don't rush it. Stay in that tension zone right here and then push up. Perfect. So let's head upstairs. I'm going to show you some more ways you can do this without this kind of service and these kind of socks. To some people, this might look like just trash around the house. But for us, it is pure glute annihilation tools. So let me show you. One, my favorite one, paper bag, plastic bag, sorry. Everybody has these around the house. You probably have 50 right now. Put your foot in. Look at that. Perfect. Zero friction. Feels great in the foot. You can do all your reverse lunges just like that. So, good. Now, number two, these are sliders, so they're meant for this kind of stuff. I bought them. They're like $7 on Amazon, but if you don't have them, no worries. But if you do, great choice. Obviously, they work well. This is my old bank statement, so just a thick piece of paper. Take your socks off for this. That's why I have mine off. Or also slide all over your sock on the paper, but if you ever just direct foot on it, just a perfect glute annihilation tool right there. Awesome. Last one. Now mine's a little big, but if you have one of those small whiteboards that are about half this size or quarter this size, it works really well with the white side down to slide all over. So that's also an option too. Let's say you're at home and you have nothing sliding, no carpet, no floor, no socks, nothing. You're still not off the hook. I'll show you one more way to do this. Grab onto anything about waist height, and we're going to do gliding reverse lunges. Before it was sliding, now this is gliding. All it is, same thing, just hold on, but you're going to keep your foot off the floor as much as you can, and then come back. So I like to kind of point my toes, come back, just like that. And then don't pull yourself up too much, just use the support. Same principles apply, push off with your heel and your midfoot. Really, really squeeze your glutes, contract them up, and feel that stretch on bottom. That's it. Now you have 100 ways to do these. For the sets and reps, let's do minimum 3 to 4 sets. That should be right around plenty for you. And for reps, let's refer to reps in reserve. The reason is, some people can be pretty strong at these. Some people form might suffer just a little bit because they are kind of tricky. So go refer to reps in reserve. Reps in reserve for these are going to be 1 to 2. Let's go 1 to 2. Again, so that can mean anything from 5 to 30, anywhere in there. Just stay true to your form, keep your tempo nice and pretty, and try to hit that 1 to 2 reps in reserve. Let's move on. Depending on your experience level, our prior glute training may or may not have been hard, but this is going to be extra spicy. So we're going to start with an extending set for the quads using rear foot elevated split squats. This is just a dowel here I just have for balance. You can use one if you want to, a broomstick, a handle, your brother, whatever works. But I have my dowel here. So basic split squat form first is elevate your foot on a bench, couch like I have here. Come down, get a nice big stretch in the glutes, and let your knee touch the ground, or I like to hover a little bit above, and then pop up, really driving with your quad. So come down, keep your feet flat, don't let your heel come up or your toes come up. It's okay if your knees go a little bit past your toes, that's fine, as long as it stays square. And then pop back up. So basic split squat form. So for the extending sets, what we're going to do is we're going to start with body weight, and we're going to do 8 reps with body weight. Now, once you get 8 reps, everybody should be able to get your reps there. Then go to your next highest level of band, which is, for me, it's a 10-pound band, and do 8 reps there. Just like that. Now, once you get 8 reps there, go to the next level of band, for me it's the 20, and then still use the 10 as well, and then do 8 more reps with both bands here. Oh yeah, that's starting to get there. So if you complete those 8 reps, your reward is to grab the next heaviest one and keep going. You're going to keep going, keep leveling up until you can't get 8 reps. Now most of you, in my experience, should be able to get about 2 to 3 levels. So I stopped at the, when I did this yesterday, I stopped at the 40. So I did bodyweight, 10, 20, 30, 40. About 3 to 4 levels up, most of you should be able to go. So that whole entire thing is one big set. Now, for this exercise, let's do 2 to 3 sets per leg. Remember what the big set is. And you guys already know, 8 reps. Last note here, if you don't have all these bands and just have one level, I think the 50 is pretty common for people to have just 150. Then all you do is do your 8 reps with bodyweight and then keep doing sets of 8 until you can't get 8. Now if you do like 8 mini sets of 8, then just bump it up to 12 or 15 or even 18 or 20 to kind of overcompensate for the lack of increase in resistance. So I want to go over a quick note on progressive overload. Now, once you went through a couple weeks of doing these split squats and you reach 5 total ascends, remember that's body weight plus this band plus all these bands, that's 5 total ascends. It's time to start getting really challenging. So what you're going to do is do nothing different besides doing double dip reps. What that means is you're here and you're going to go down, up, just like that. That's 1 rep. So replace all your previous reps with the double dipping reps. By default, this will knock you down some ascends in order to keep progressing. Because if you didn't do this, then you just have to keep doing set after set, or ascend after ascend after ascend, and it get pretty boring pretty quick. So this is a good way to kind of not let that happen, and a good way to apply progressive overload. Lastly, we have 2 options for quads. The first one is banded leg extensions. Notice how on the door I put it at the low anchor position. This is just to increase the tension throughout the whole entire range of motion versus just put it on the chair. So the way to do these is to offset yourself from the chair a little bit so you have room so you don't hit the chair itself. Now come up, really squeeze your quad, hold it there for a second, and come down nice and slow. All the tension is going to be mainly on top right there. So just, really, like I said, we're not going anywhere, we don't got nothing to do. So take your time, squeeze, and come back. That's it. That's all the cues for that one. Something to note here, I'm using my ankle cuff because that did come with my set, the band link I linked in my program. However, check out my Instagram for creative ways that I found to do this without the ankle cuff, or if you have some ways yourself, that works as well. Sets and reps for these. Let's do 3 to 4 sets, each leg of 15 to 30 reps. As always, if you can do more than that or less than that, you want to try to get within that rep range, just move back or forward depending on your needs. Reps in reserve, let's go to failure. For these, the fatigue on these is not that big, so we can push pretty hard. So go to failure, 0 reps in reserve. So I do have a second option for you if leg extensions weren't fun enough. This is bodyweight sissy squats. Now before I get into it, these may cause some discomfort in your knees if you have pre-existing knee injuries. I still recommend giving it a try, and if it does cause the bad discomfort, then just stick with leg extensions, but for most of you this should be okay. So get right into it. First cue is to keep your feet pointed straight and close together. Keep your upper body, everything from your knees to your upper body, straight. So no bend at the hips, as little as you can. And all you do at that point is go on your toes, let your knees go way past your toes, and then come up. So that's 1 rep. Notice how I'm leaning back, I'm not bending here. Just like that. So you should feel a pretty massive stretch on your quads as you go. So when you do these, just hold on to anything you can that's about somewhere around this height. Something like a doorknob, a chair, your brother again, could work, a countertop. For these, we're going to refer to reps in reserve. So kind of like the sliding reverse lunges we did. We're just going to refer to reps in reserve anywhere from around 5 to 30 reps, depending on how strong you are. One thing to note on these though is that tempo is super important. So instead of flying down and coming back up, that's going to be pretty stressful on your joints, not very conducive to apple stimulus for muscle growth. So for what we want to do is nice and slow tempo here, 3 seconds, and come back up, just like that, somewhere around there. Perfect. So with this one, let's go 2 to 1 reps from reserve. You can go to failure if you want to, but for here it's really not needed, and it might just cause the risk to reward ratio might not be where it's meant to be. So refer to reps from reserve, and let's get 1 to 2 reps in reserve. So perfect. Let's move on to hamstrings. All right, no leg workout is complete without some hamstring work, so let's hit them really hard with lying leg curls. So the way I like to do this is actually put a belt through my handles just so both my legs can work at one time. If you prefer a single leg, you could just do one leg, or you could use your ankle strap, but assuming you don't have one of these, the belt works just fine. So come in here, put your ankles in. I like to kind of wrap my feet around just like that. Now you want to come out far enough where there's tension throughout the whole entire range of motion, kind of like those leg extensions. So right about there is good. So for these, we're going to do straight sets with a little twist. They're straight sets with pump iso holds, I call them. So for the straight set, come here, curl in. Also, notice how when I curl in, my butt stays, my hips stay on the ground for the most part. If they come off a little bit, that's okay. Just don't have them come off like that so you don't hurt yourself, hurt your back. Good. So now for the pump iso holds, traditional iso holds, you just come up at the end of your set and hold it. Now those are pretty great, but let's just add a little more nastiness to them. After your set, after you get your 10 to 20 reps, you're gonna come in and just do mini pumps, just like that. So just little contractions at the end for about 10 to 20 seconds, probably gonna be about 10 to 20 mini reps. So that is one set. Let's do 4 to 5 sets of this. As far as reps from reserve go, let's do 2 to 0 reps from reserve. Anywhere in there is going to work, and that should be it for hamstrings. Last up for today is calves and abs. With calves, we're going to keep it super simple and just do calf raises. However, these are often butchered to the nth degree, so let's go over some good form how to do these. You can either do double or single leg. I'll explain which one to pick in a sec. But regardless what you do, it's important to get a really good stretch on bottom and a really good contraction on top. So a lot of times people go and they just bounce like this. That is not doing anything for you. But if you go up and hold the contraction for a good couple seconds and then come down nice and slow and really get a stretch for a good couple seconds, that's going to be one of the best ways you can do calf raises. So here's a couple reps. I come down for a couple counts, squeeze like heck, slow down, stretch for a couple counts, and repeat. That was one full rep. For calves, single leg or double leg, depending on how strong you are. Anywhere in the 10 to 30 rep range is fine, even above that's okay. So refer to reps from reserve, you can do single leg or double leg, and let's do 3 to 5 sets for calves. Now, you have an option to superset that with abs just to save time. So come over here and we're gonna keep it easy. Let's just do some dead bugs. So if you have a strong core, we can make these pretty challenging by keeping our arms off the whole entire time and our legs off as well. So I like to do dead bugs a little differently than other people. I like to do both arms and one leg. It looks like this. We're here and you squeeze your core just like that. So if that's really challenging to keep both our arms and legs, or your arms and legs off, then you can just have your legs rest on the ground and your arms come up, or opposite. So you could just go, my arms are off, or my legs are on, and I go like this. My one leg stays on the ground. That's okay. Or opposite, keep your arms, one arm rests on the ground, and your legs come up like this. This is going to be a little more challenging, but it works as well. So again, you can either do your calves separate from your abs or put them together as a superset, both for 3 to 5 sets. For abs, again, refer to reps from reserve, make them sting, and it'll be sufficient. All right, that's all I have. That is the first lower body day of Muscle Through Corona Banding Bodyweight program. As a reminder, there are 4 total days. Be sure to check out my other links for the other 3. Also, be sure to check out my social media. It's just James Ryburn on Facebook, on Instagram, and even TikTok. My website is Ryburn Training Systems, as you know. and the PDF will be in there for the program as well. That's all I have. Thanks very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like what you saw. Thanks everybody. The rear foot elevated ascending set, the ascending set split squat. Wow.
Oh.